I think the job of being a teacher is so rewarding in so many ways.
The connection between you and the whole class, that's still unbeatable.
When my pupils are successful, it feels incredible.
I think the greatest thing for me is seeing the pupils that I teach love the subject as much as I do.
I don't think there's any other job where you get the same satisfaction.
That's why I chose to teach.
You could get £26,000 tax-free to train. Search Apply to Teach. Selected subjects only, subject to eligibility.
Gamertag Radio is on radio.com.
You can now watch Gamertag Radio live on Twitch.
Get all the latest news and coverage related to the gaming industry.
Join hosts Danny Pena, Paris Lilly, and Peter Toledo.
Don't miss the crew record the podcast live Sundays, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or Wednesdays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get involved with the conversation, send us questions, and be part of the show.
Gamertag Radio.
Follow us, twitch.tv/Gamertag Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Podcasting since 2005. You're listening to Gamertag Radio. With your host, podcaster Hall of Famer Danny Pena, the always opinionated Paris Lilly, and from outside of the norm, Peter Toledo. This is Gamertag Radio.
Here we go.
Welcome to Gamertag Radio, episode 711. This is your host, Danny, and joining me this week, Mr. Pete. Pete, what's up?
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good, man. By the way, this is the Enhanced Edition.
Enhanced Edition?
Yes. This is enhanced. Everything enhanced. It's nice and pretty. It's looking better than before, than last week.
I may have taken some medication to chill out. Apparently on the last episode, things was live and direct. So,
man, we should definitely gonna talk about that in a few minutes. But Pete, before we talk about all that stuff, I have a big announcement to make, man. Big announcement. So, I've been talking to the guys at Podfest. That's where I did keynotes over there. I've already done like two of them over there. One was in Tampa, another one last year was in Orlando, which was awesome. And that's where their premiere, The Messenger podcast documentary movie over there too. And this year, actually 2018, Gamertag Radio, we're turning 13 years old. We're turning 13. We're pretty old there, Pete. And the thing that I always wanted to do for years is for us to record a podcast live in front of an audience. So this is going to be our first time together, Paris and Pete and I, at this event on a Friday evening, and we're going to have this free live recording event that you guys could go. It doesn't matter if you're anywhere in the U.S., you could go and attend. And this is going to take place at Podfest 2018, and it's on February 9th, 2018, from 6 to 7. I'm going to mention the address here where we're going to have this at. Have you heard of this Carib Royale, Pete? That's a dope hotel. I don't know if you've seen that. Are you there, Pete?
Yes, I am.
Pete.
I've been muted.
Oh, okay. Oh, great.
The El Caribe Royale.
Yeah. It's the location is 8101 World Center Drive, Orlando, Florida. You go over there and let's celebrate together. So you're going to be hearing a lot about this because I'm working on a couple other things too, a couple surprises. Can't say what it is just yet. But just be on the lookout. I really would want like all of our listeners, if they can, to attend this event and just be part of the celebration. I think it will be something special if we all could go over there, man. And I heard the room that we got is pretty official. Like it's really huge. So... And we're the main event of Podfest because I think we're the only ones doing like a live recording for the first time. So that's going to be awesome. I'm very excited, man. Pete, what you think, man?
It won't be the first time that you and I are on a show or on a recorded event live. You and I did one at University of Miami 3-4 years ago, I want to say.
University of Miami. But that wasn't recorded, though.
No, it was just it was a live panel. Me, you, and my wife talking about video games and podcasting and such. But yeah, dude, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of hype. You know, it's something different. I mean, I think the jitters will just be because, you know, we're doing this live, but I think once we go live, it'll just be like, okay, it's just the three of us talking as usual.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. And plus Paris is gonna be in town too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah, go to gamertagworld.com for more information, or podfest.us, and I'll definitely will keep you posted about all that stuff. All right, so P, let's talk about what happened last week. Do you want to start, or you want me to start? It's up to you.
I'll start it off because apparently I came off a little heated, apparently.
Okay.
I'll admit I was wrong. I'm not going to try to qualify or give excuses. The only thing I will say in defense is that all of us were discussing this prior to any information being divulged by Microsoft or IGN or anybody else. So this was based on stuff that we had heard. So as a result of watching the videos that were released by Microsoft and the whole, you know, the couple of articles that were written by Ryan McCaffrey and the folks at IGN, it appears that there are some enhancements or improvements upon the games that are coming out for the backwards compatibility feature on Xbox One X. Until I can actually visually see it with my eyes, I'm still going to hold, I'm still going to hold a half full cup of skepticism, because market speak is one thing, and until it's visually experienced and I can confirm or deny it, either whether it's me or I'm watching someone do a live stream of side-by-side comparisons, right? Because I can go to Best Buy and I can see someone portraying a video and they could turn off all of the funky features, and I've seen it done with TVs and such, to make it seem like, to simulate what I like to call the poop filter on TVs to make HD look better. And yes, I'm not trying to take away any legitimacy from, you know, Ryan McCaffrey and IGN and those, but I mean, from the initial impressions and things that I've seen, I am wrong, and I admit that I was wrong. And if I offended anybody on the show, I apologize. But as me, you, Danny, and Paris have said countless times in the past, this is a passion for the three of us, right? And so when we have an opinion on something, we feel, and it's something that we feel strongly about, obviously emotions do tend to come out. I mean, hey, we're alpha mentality people here. We all have strong mentalities. Like God help us if our private chat ever got out to the public.
Oh boy, it's pretty bad.
But at the end of the day, you know, the last thing we do here on the show is try to disrespect or bring that about to others. Because I think it's one thing that, you know, we try to push across more than anything, which is positivity, whether it be within our own video game community, whether it be on, you know, in our personal day-to-day dealings with each other, etc. Again, I was wrong based on what I've seen so far. I'm still going to hold a little bit of skepticism because I want to see it firsthand. I want to see the OG microwave Xbox sitting next to the Xbox One X. I want to see them both playing at the same time, side by side, or give me some kind of a live stream video of this. Don't give me, I don't want to see an edited video, especially coming from Microsoft. Not to say that they're not saying the truth, but it's market speak, and I want to see that fleshed out in my face. And then, I'm not going to go out and buy the Xbox One X because they got a gaming PC with a 1080 next to me, but it would add to more legitimacy in my personal opinion. So,
all right. I already downloaded like 2 games, and I could tell the difference big time. I could tell, especially Ninja Gaiden. I think Albert Pinello posted this on Twitter. He says OG Xbox games run at 4 times the resolution on Xbox One S and 16 times the resolution on Xbox One X. Mm-hmm. That's native, not upscale. Now, I was like very excited. Like, man, I'm gonna download these games. So I already downloaded Ninja Gaiden and Star Wars, and I could tell the loading is a lot faster. you could see that like these games are like aged, very it's very old and stuff, but it looks great. I played it for a while. I was even streaming Ninja Gaiden. By the way, that game is like Cuphead. It's freaking hard. I totally forgot about that. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was playing that for a while, and Star Wars, man, it was loading like crazy, loading super fast. It wasn't full screen like Ninja Gaiden, but it still looks good compared to the Xbox old games and stuff. But here's the thing too, Pete, that I forgot to mention this too. So I have the NES Classic and the Super NES Classic, and even those are the games looks. I mean, it's still 8-bit and 16-bit, but the resolution looks a lot better than the original consoles and stuff. So I know Paris brought it up, like we were talking about like old games and stuff like that, and he was like, "Oh man, you guys should have talked about the Super NES or the NES. It looks better." I'm like, "Yeah, I forgot," because we were just all over the place. We were like arguing and stuff, man. But people also have to understand that I know how it is when we argue or when we debate on the podcast. Like I know how it is with P and Paris because we're friends and we know how it is. Like we know each other for a very long time. Like Pete knows, like when we do an interview with somebody, Pete, you know when I'm gonna stop but you're gonna go next. Like I don't even have to say anything. Pete knows from the get. Same thing with Paris. So when we joke, it's not being mean or anything like that. It's more like a brother type relationship. You know what I'm saying? So I know there was a lot of people hitting me up saying, "Oh, you guys, that was so rude." That was honestly, I was editing that show, that episode last was it on Monday morning, and I was debating, man, should I release that? I don't know. It was a good debate, whatever. You know what? Let me just leave it there and just release it. And man, the next day, it was like timing was so crazy. The episode got released, and then the announcement came out at the same time. So when people heard the show, they were like, "Oh, Pete didn't even get the chance to read this." You know how? But remember, we recorded this before the announcement,
the
so
day
it
and a half
sounded
before. So it makes us look bad, and then that's why my Twitter, my timeline was lit with people. My God, make sure get Peter to watch this, get Pete to watch this video, and this, and this, and Ryan McCaffrey showing him he's wrong, and it's like, guys, I'm going off of 36 hours before. So I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I based it on what I heard at E3 and like during interviews of like from all the way from June to now, like they'll bring it up here and there. And I believe even Paris had conversation with Xbox, I think, about that. So, I mean, he wasn't here to talk about it and stuff, but like, I don't know. We're not perfect, but I didn't want people to think like that we were like hitting each other and we're not even talking and that's it. We're not going to record anymore because of the whole debate. Come on, man. Like the next day I was calling Pete, joking around, and Paris too. We were like joking on our chat. It's like, it's whatever, man. We're having fun. We're just very passionate. That's the thing people got to understand, that we're very passionate. So that's why we always come up with debates and stuff like that. I love that we have different opinions. It makes the show better, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah. All right. So we have a lot of voicemails and questions here. So should we just go with fan mail, P, or no?
Let's just do it. I mean, that's the fun part of the show, right? Is when we bring the community in.
Definitely
to be part of the show. So
let me do the little introduction. Here it goes. It's time for fan mail.
Fan mail at gamertagradio.com.
Okay, Pete, you can play it.
Thank you, Danny. I'm allowed to play it now.
All
right. So we're gonna do voicemail 1 here.
What's up from Texas, guys? First and foremost, I'm a brand new listener. I really appreciate the content that you guys put out. The show is great, very informative. All three of you sound like very chill dudes. And so for that, I want to thank you, keeping me company throughout my busy day. With all that being said, the reason that I'm calling is I just listened to a past episode in which you were discussing the Crackdown 3 sales. Danny had an unpopular opinion, and Paris and Pete, I feel, maybe reacted a little unfairly. I know you guys are all really good friends. I know we're all adults here, and so I don't think anybody was necessarily being bullied. Just felt like there was a little bit of disrespect. I know that debate is good for a podcast like this. If anything, it's essential, so I do appreciate that. But it just, like I said, I can't shake that feeling of hostility. I don't know. It just didn't sit right with me, the way that conversation went by the end. So, Danny, just want you to know, man, I'm on your team as far as that goes. Not to alienate the other two, Pete and Paris. You guys are also, in your own regards, badasses. Paris, for sure, you're my favorite personality on the show, man. Keep it up, guys. I mean, despite what I said, I really appreciate the show. All right, thank you.
Do you want to retort?
Paris is fake news. About Crackdown, what was it that we talked about? Was it because of the sales? I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, so essentially, if I recall correctly, you thought that Crackdown 3 was going to do just fine from a sales perspective, whereas Paris and I felt differently. Right, I guess the easiest way to say it, if we want to break it down to its basest.
Okay, I think I remember now.
I'm still gonna say I still think it got pushed back, which I think is probably in its best bet. I'm not seeing anything that makes me want to go out and get the download or buy Crackdown 3 right now. So, while I understand that there's fans of the game that still might be clamoring for it. I mean, hey, I'm looking forward to playing PUBG on Xbox on Xbox One, and I've got 400 plus hours on it on PC, right, over the last couple of months. I play it 4 or 5 days a week, but I'm still looking forward to it. And yeah, sometimes I get apologetic, or I get apologist for it, or I get to the defense of PUBG. But again, that's my game du jour right now. In the same way as Paris gets somewhat defensive, and we all get defensive, but at the same time hold them accountable for their titles, right? So like while, Paris might get, semi-defensive about Destiny, he also critiques it, and it's warranted. And the same way that, PUBG is not a perfect game. It's definitely not esports ready, right? It has its flaws, but it's still my favorite game right now. And so, if and when it needs to be defended, as a fan, I will defend it, but obviously if it's wrong or something's bad, we'll point it out. It's only right. As far as Crackdown 3, I'm still going to stick to my guns. I still don't think it's going to be the game that Microsoft thinks it's going to be, and I hope that them delaying it gives them enough time and opportunity to make it into the game it should be, coming out as a flagship title on the Xbox One X.
I agree. I think that Crackdown, when we had that conversation, P, I think that a couple of days later, that's when Crackdown got pushed back. And when I played at E3, it was okay. It wasn't horrible. Like, I had fun. I was there the whole time playing the game. Mm-hmm. So I was going based on that. You guys were going based on the video that Major Nelson released. Mm-hmm. That I think it was like super buggy. And so on. So that's how the whole conversation came up.
But also comparing the fact that, remember, you and I sat next to each other playing it at E3 at the media showcase, and then seeing what is supposed to be the mouthpiece of Xbox, and what they showed, it gave us reason for pause. So.
No, and you know what? Everybody had a different experience. Like when I played it, I had fun. I know Ryan from IGN and a couple people played it, and they said it was buggy. So everybody's gonna have like different opinions. You said it was buggy too. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand that part. What I'm saying is there's always gonna be that crowd that's just gonna love that franchise no matter what, right? So a perfect example was a couple days ago. Paris posted this on Twitter, he put my name on it, of course, that Insomniac was, I think, replying to like fans on Twitter, and somebody asked him, any, is there an opportunity that you guys are going to work on Sunset Overdrive 2? And they were like, look, we're looking for a publisher. We're ready to do this. We want to do this. I was looking at all the responses from everybody from there, and there was a lot of people saying, oh my God, please, please. They were replying back to Phil and so on. I know the game wasn't like a major hit. To me, it's a special game to me because to this day, it's one of my favorite Xbox One games, aside with like Witcher and Forza Horizon 3. I was having a conversation with Paris, and I felt like I know for a fact if Nintendo would have released this on Nintendo Switch, it would have been a hit. People would have bought that like crazy for the Nintendo Switch, right? Because I think a lot of people that like the majority of owners that have an Xbox One right now, they are more into like the mainstream games like Call of Duty, NBA 2K, Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, you will get one of those like hits here and there that it's like nobody was expecting and it sells a lot. But I think also that game came out at the wrong time. Too many big games was coming out that year with around the holidays with around the time that Sunset Overdrive came out, and people just slept on it. I had a blast with that game, and like I said, I think more people would have purchased that on a Nintendo like device if that would have come out from that. Personally, I think. So, okay. All right. You want to play the next one?
Gamertag crew, Robert from Virginia Beach. Another thing I want to talk about was the shutting down of Visual Studios. Me and my wife were listening to the podcast, and I was angry. I was yelling at the podcast, yelling at you guys, just for delivering the news. I'm a huge fan of Dead Space, and man, I was very heated. I was very heated at that moment, and just looking back at it, yes, from a business point, I can understand that Dead Space or Visual Studios may not be the cash cow that EA is looking for, and I see that these multiplayer experiences are what's getting these companies the most bang for their buck and the most money back. But at sacrificing great content, now I'm out of Dead Space because EA's not gonna give me a Dead Space. Visual Studios is closed down. Those developers that have gone on to other projects, they can't touch that title anymore. So now I'm out of Dead Space. That may sound selfish, but gonna keep the language light on this show. But my feelings towards that. It'd be really great if EA didn't think it was worth that much money. If they can sell the rights for a nominal fee to another good developer. So that way I get my Dead Space. But what do you think about that? About after big companies, big money companies shutting down smaller studios, at least letting them walk away with the rights or having some kind of prenuptial agreement that, hey, after you're done, with this partnership, we get to walk away, with the rights of this game. If you no longer want to fund us, marketing wise or the big bucks wise. What do you guys think about that?
Thoughts? Visceral closing? I know we talked about this a couple of weeks ago or a couple of shows ago.
Well, I just read this article a couple of days ago that kind of relates to that. So I think personally that when EA was working on that Star Wars game, I think it was going to come out sometime next year or something like that, right? 2018. I think that was just like a single player focus game, right? Now, okay, let's say EA releases that game $59.99. That's it. Then maybe we'll have like some season pass and all that stuff. Then what? That's it. You release that game and there's no extra income they could get from just a single player game. Usually multiplayer games, yeah, big time. They will get a lot more money. And I was reading an article that a former BioWare developer was saying that he's seen people spending, I think, $15,000 on Mass Effect multiplayer cards. Now, why do you think EA and a lot of other companies wants to like start doing like, adding stuff that's for them to get extra money for them, is because of that, man. Pete said the other day that he actually bought what was it for Ghost Recon? You bought something. I think it was
weapons and weapon attachments and stuff like that for Ghost Recon. Because I'd said it when I did it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. One of our community members, I think he's in the chat right now. I admitted it straight up the moment I did it. It was like, yeah, we got the game. We got review copies from Ubisoft for a title I was going to throw money at anyways. So I felt it was only fair, me personally, that, if I was going to spend money on the game anyways, there's no money loss. It's already considered spent. So yeah, I spent it on content, on guns and barrels and weapon attachments, etc.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask you how much you spent on that? You remind me, if you don't mind answering that.
I think it was $40, $20 on the Xbox One and $20 on PC.
See, I'm just personally not a fan of that. I can't do that.
But see, all right, so there's two trains of thought on that though. There's games in where buying content like that affects the outcome of the game. And in Ghost Recon's instance, it does, because I was on the first part of the game with the MSR1, which is one of the best sniper rifles in the game. Theoretically, it shouldn't be an option, because it changes the way you play the game. Because if you have all these high-powered weapons and suppressors and silencers on all your guns and stuff like that, then the game, as it was designed, fundamentally changes, because then now you can go into every encounter quietly, or as quiet as possible because you're suppressed. Whereas going in with with guns and no suppressors, now you're making more noise, etc. Whereas a game like PUBG, right? You can throw money all you want, but all it is right now is it's a cosmetic change. It's not changing the fundamental way people play the game, just a cosmetic issue. So in that regards, if you want to throw your wallet at customizing the look and appearance of your character, hey, I've done both, so I am not one to criticize. But at the end of the day, it's up to the gamers, and it's up to their choice to do what they want to do between, buying game with either whether it affects the content or not, or if it's just cosmetic.
I mean, it's your money. You could do whatever you want, basically.
Exactly. Right? I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money.
Yeah. But that's crazy though. 15,000.
That's nothing. That's nothing.
No, I'm just saying that.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I don't want to sound like Petty Crocker here or anything, but $50,000 is a hell of a lot of money. I mean, that's a lot of money. That's a car payment. That's a whole car right there that you could buy. That's a down payment on a house.
On a house, yeah.
Dude, right, I was going to say that. So don't get it twisted. That's a lot of cash. That's a lot of stacks on the table. But
so what you mean by saying that's nothing?
Because there's more. If you think, I don't want to. I wouldn't say League, but World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft. Okay, and also a lot of the mobile games too.
Absolutely.
When was it last night? Last night they had a Nintendo Direct mobile for Animal Crossing that's coming out for the iOS and also Android devices. And yeah, the game is going to be free, but let me tell you, man, Nintendo's going to make so much money with people like trying to build like their house or their camp, and they want the time to go faster. Hey, let me put $5 here, $5 there, $20 here. Hey, you know what? There's a package I could get for $50. I'm telling you, man, people are going to spend a lot of money on that once it comes out.
I want to say Dean Takahashi over at VentureBeat wrote an article a couple of years ago about people who spend money, and I recall some guy spending like $2 million on a mobile game.
Oh my God.
Dude, so in the grand scheme of things, 15 stacks compared to 2 million?
That's crazy.
That's nothing, insane. Dude. That's nothing. $2 million, dude. You could buy buy a small island for the price, you know, whereas 15 G's in comparison.
So yeah, of course, companies gonna focus on that now because of that. They're making extra money. They're spending more money on marketing and developing these games. That $59.99 is not enough, man. I can't blame them. People could complain as much as they want. Companies are still gonna go for it. They're gonna get extra money, and it's in every game that so far that's come out this year. You'll see that it's optional so far. It's not like they're forcing you, but man, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, so like I'm looking at it now. So do you remember Mafia Wars from Zynga?
Yeah, I remember that.
A lady in Maine embezzled $166,000 from her job to play this game.
What's wrong with them?
Okay.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
A guy spent $16,000 for a virtual sword in Age of Wulin, a mobile game.
I understand if the game it's free. If it's free and you want to like support the developer, that's fine, man. But man, to me, that's a limit, man. They can't. To them, they don't care. You know, the developers, the publishers, they don't care. They'll keep on adding more stuff. But man, I think you need to know when to stop. That's insane. That's too much.
But hey, who are we to judge if they want to spend the money? I mean, hey, y'all can kill me for spending $40 on weapon barrels and attachments and silencers, but I'm not the guy spending $2 million on a mobile game.
It's crazy. I don't know.
There are so many reasons why I got into teaching.
One of the best things is the light bulb moment.
When you see a pupil suddenly understand something, that's really, really special.
Every child is so full of potential, and the thing that makes me proudest to be a teacher is seeing them realise what they are capable of.
I don't think any other job can give you the same satisfaction.
That's why I chose to teach.
You could get £26,000 tax-free to train. Search, apply to teach. Selected subjects only, subject to eligibility.
At LV, our home insurance comes from the heart. It's not just about giving you a personal claims handler to take care of you all the way. It's about looking after you in other ways too. Like when you go direct to us, buy online and get a massive 25% discount. To see how much you could save with the Which Insurance Provider of the Year 2017, go direct to lv.com. Online discount for new customers only, excludes home emergency and home legal expenses.
This is Gamer Tag Radio. Voicemail at 786-2737-GTR.
We got week 8 of the NFL coming up this week, and it's game on. Don't miss a second of the NFL on CBS. With CBS All Access, subscribers can stream their local market games live and get full game day coverage on TV-connected devices and tablets. From Thursday Night Football to Sunday doubleheaders, we have all your NFL on CBS excitement covered. Hey, this week we've got Miami versus Baltimore on Thursday night. On top of that, we've got Oakland, Buffalo on Sunday, followed by Indianapolis, Cincinnati, the Chargers versus Patriots. We've got Houston versus Seattle. We got a slew of games, and you can catch them all, including the Monday Night Special, which is my personal favorite, the Denver Broncos in a divisional matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs. Honestly, I'm scared because I think my Broncos are going to lose. But so CBS All Access subscribers can not just get the NFL football schedule, but they also get more. They get the award shows, they get news, fall premieres, and more, as well as get access to over 9,000 current and classic episodes on demand. So start your free trial now by going to cbs.com/NFL. That's cbs.com/NFL and start your All Access Pass subscription.
All right, I'm going to read another one here. This is from right now. Wes Jez. He posted this on our Discord fan mail channel. He's like, "What's up, GTR crew? So last year, before the Xbox One X Scorpio specs got revealed, I purchased an Xbox One S based on the fact that the lineup on the first-party games for the Xbox One was kind of weak, and this year is no better. Now my question is, what is the incentive from Microsoft for me to upgrade to an Xbox One X in the near future? Thanks, and keep up the great work. All right, I'll say this. For the past few months, I've been playing a game on an Xbox One X. TV, 4K TV and everything. And now I just started playing it a couple days ago. Yeah. Days or weeks? Let's go with days. And I could tell the difference. I could tell the difference big time now. Now that I'm playing it on Xbox One S, still fun, right? But visually, it's not like how I'm so used to playing it on a 4K TV and on a 4K console. So that I think that's what Microsoft is trying to push, is just that. I think Pete in Paris has been like posting tweets about what was it that you've been playing, Pete? That you've been posting a lot of like tweets like, oh, it looks beautiful on my computer. Was it Assassin's Creed?
Assassin's Creed
nice.
Origins.
Assassin's Creed Origins looks nice. I think Paris posted a picture. He's like, oh my God, 4K. So Paris said on Twitter, he was like, man, I'm excited to play this on a 4K PC. I can imagine how this is going to look on an Xbox One X 4K. So the thing that we want to do, like right now, today, we're not going to talk about Assassin's Creed Origins because I think it's not fair. I just got the game literally like today. Pete, you've been busy. You only got it like what, a couple days ago, Paris too. So we want to like play as much as we can and talk about it on the next episode of GTR. I think that's fair. I don't want to rush it. There's people that have been having it now for like two weeks now. You know, so I'd rather us to take our time. Same thing with Wolfenstein and Super Mario Odyssey and all that stuff, man. So give us time. But yeah, I think that's what they're trying to push, man. It's just that part, man. You know, so it's just gonna look better on that console, and you're gonna have a faster experience, like loading time and all that stuff, man. So now, if you don't have a 4K TV, the only thing that you could benefit out of this is just faster loading time, I think. So
we shall see.
We shall see. Let's see if there's anything else here. Oh, this is from MKV8493. Hey crew, this comment is much for your fan base as it is for you. This generation of gaming has a unique position. Right now, you can enjoy the same experience across multi-levels of fidelity. Example, you can enjoy Gears of War on the Xbox One S, or the X is coming out soon, or the PC. This drives a lot of people to upgrade and are left with the death weights because they could not find a good home from them. So all those like all the old consoles, you just have it there, whatever, right? But here's a cool thing that MKV posted. He said, enter Children's Hospital. One of the best ways for these kids to get over pain, suffering, and boredom, it's gaming. It will be awesome to see the community-wide movement of donating their old systems to these hospitals and helping the kiddos out. You can write it off on your taxes, which is, I totally agree with that. And this might sit better with you than giving your system to GameStop and getting $2 back for it. So MKV, thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot for the message, man. I think we should do that, man. I have a lot of old stuff. I should just donate it, man. You know?
It's just, I don't have a problem with that. I know that there's other people or other companies that do work with, whether it be children's hospitals, et cetera. You know, we were good friends with Doc, who started up Extra Life with Children's Miracle Network. I know me and my wife have been to, you know, we've all been supporting it since day one. You know, me and the wife actually got to go to Extra Life United about 3 years ago in Orlando. Let me tell you, when you go to one of these events and you get to actually meet the children that you're supporting and helping, it changes your outlook and opinion on things. You know, her and I got to we became somewhat close with one of the kids there, and there's a thing where you go around to every kid, because there's one child per state. So, there's 50 states, represented at Extra Life United. And, you walk around with a book and, some kids, they're able to use their hands, but some kids they can't. So they actually use stamps to put, so they actually give all the kids stamps so they can stamp their names in your autograph book. Well, me and my wife went around and we're like, you know what? It's one thing to get the book, but let's make it a little bit more personal. And the first kid we went to, we actually had him stamp our arms, right? And so we actually walked around to all of the kids and had all of the kids actually stamp our arms. And we walked around and literally looked like we had tattoos, we had tattoo sleeves on both arms, but they were actually the stamps of all the kids from around the country for Extra Life. And that opened my eyes big time. And so when I see things like Extra Life, when I see things like Gamers United, things like that, shout out to Zach over there who's been doing huge things in this space. He works with manufacturers to create these little buggies, these little, I don't know, I guess they're video game carts where it's a monitor with a video game system, the controllers, and they can use them. And they're donated to hospitals to be able to, move those carts around to kids so that they can play, so that when they're getting treatment or where they're sitting there, they're in recovery or what have you, they can sit there and play games and get, the trials and tribulations of their medical care, whether it's for 10 minutes or an hour, but anything that you could do to help ease the pain that these kids are going through. So, I mean, when I see opportunities like this, I think it's fantastic. I've got a box full of old games and systems. And I think that's a great opportunity for us. It's just a matter of finding the right venue or the right place to do that. Right. Cause we don't want to donate and watch that stuff go to waste. You know what I mean? So if we can find the right avenue to do something like that, maybe it takes reaching out to Doc or reaching out to Zach or, the other leaders in this space and see what we could do.
Yeah, totally agree with that. And I think Xbox, they always donate their systems and a bunch of games to these kids, so they do it all the time. I think during PAX, they had a panel about that. Aaron Greenberg was part of it. I remember him tweeting about it and stuff, so that was cool. You want to play the next voicemail, Pete?
Sure.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Benny Corona. I haven't called in a while, but I have a question here. The fact that, everybody's talking about a lack of first-party stuff for Xbox, do you think the fact that they're launching Xbox One X, maybe they held off on a couple of things, and, of course, they're going to upgrade a bunch of games, but the whole point is because the Xbox One X mid-generation upgrade, maybe they're holding off on announcing a bunch of other stuff. Of course, we got to wait for that because there's no E3 or anything nearby. But what I'm trying to say is they didn't want to give away too much. They didn't want to get away with anything that was not unannounced. So they gave us a couple of reissues, Recore, all the other older games that are going to get upgraded with 4K. But maybe they have some new stuff that perhaps we haven't heard about. Maybe you guys have inside info on. And it's all about, the whole 4K, high dynamic range, all that kind of stuff. Tell me what you think. Let me know. Keep up the good work, guys. Bye.
What do you think, Danny? It's funny. Every time I hear Benny from Corona Queens, it always makes me thirsty. I want to drink a beer.
Oh, man, that's funny. I think that they have to do something for next year. I know now they've been pushing Xbox One X a lot. But what about 2018? What is their focus? It can't be only about Crackdown. Is it going to be Halo? Is it going to be a new Gears? What is the next step for Microsoft? Are we going to see any new IPs? Why is Phil Spencer, every time he goes to Japan for the past few months, he's always posting that on Twitter? I had a great meeting in Japan, So I think they need to surprise us, man. For those that are fans or owners of these consoles, you got to hype us up. You know, right now, yeah, everybody's hyped for the Xbox One X, but what's next after that? The other day I was thinking about this. I think that the reason, of course, Crackdown got delayed. It didn't look good, whatever, right? But I think the reason why they did that is because imagine that game would have come out right now in November, the same day that the Xbox One X comes out. And it gets horrible reviews. That's bad press. That's bad press. And it's bad press during the time that you're trying to get more people to purchase your console. Not only the Xbox One S, but also the new one, the Xbox One X. So I think that's part of it too, that they like, you know what, we don't want no bad press right now. Let's just freaking delay this. This game doesn't look good. It's too buggy, whatever. I think that's what it is. Right now, the Lucky Tales game looks awesome. Forza 7 looks great, right? You know, Assassin's Creed looks great. Wolfenstein coming out. Like, they have games there. So right now, they just need to release the console and that's it, right? But next year is going to be very interesting, man. 2018, they need to start promoting stuff, man. Maybe we'll get to see something during the Video Game Awards, a couple of trailers, right, here and there, and save for them for GDC next year. So some surprises or something, right? So, what do you think, Pete?
I agree that they've got a steep hill to climb because obviously you've got Sony and Nintendo killing it right now with first party titles coming out. You know, that's been their staple for the past few years, right? You know, Nintendo obviously it's about to drop the bomb of bombs. Hell, I even bought a Switch today because of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. Wait. Pete, say that again.
I bought a Switch today because of Super Mario Odyssey.
I'm impressed, Pete.
So
I'm impressed. So
awesome. When you see games like that, you know, iconic first party titles dropping bombs on the industry, whether it's Breath of the Wild, you've got Horizon Zero Dawn on PS4, you've got a plethora of titles not having just come out over the last year, but are projected to come out over the next 6 to 8 months, not just the holiday season, but beyond 2017, highly anticipated titles coming out in 2018 as well. And what does Microsoft have coming up aside from PUBG, which is
it's going to help though.
It's going to help, but it's kind of like an exclusive because it's kind of only going to be on Microsoft, right? Because it's going to be Steam available and it's also going to be on the console. And I know the Bluehole's already talking to Sony about when their iteration is going to come out. We've talked about Crackdown 3, but we don't have a date for when that's going to come out. Do we have confidence that that's going to be a system seller? Maybe.
Sea of Thieves is early next year.
Right.
Yeah, that game is fun. I like that game.
Right, but it's not for everybody. You know, it fits them. It might fit a specific niche, but I mean, there's not a lot of, and like you said, you got Super Lucky's Tale. You know me. I'm all aboard. Where's my pin? My pin's around here.
Oh, no, P is he is a fan of that game. He's ready for that game to come out.
I'm pissed that I can't find it right now.
Hey, darling, this is certified psychic Miss Leo. The guys at Gamertag Radio have pulled me out of retirement to give them some free readings. So I've been using the power of the tarot cards to look into the future, baby. You hear me?
Pete, can I say something real quick? Go ahead. I think this happens a lot. So I don't know if it's going to happen during the Video Game Awards. I don't know. Usually around March, every time there's like a new Halo game or a new Halo announcement, it always comes out like a trailer or a press release on that, like around that time frame, early the year this comes out. So if it comes out next year, November of next year, then we might see something, either the Video Game Awards, or if not, February, April, between February, April, around there, a new trailer of Halo. Because that happens every single time there's a new Halo game. You can look it up. Miss Cleo prediction. Let's go.
It's a matter of time, because I don't see Microsoft letting their flagship go for too long from being outside of the public's eye. Similar to, you'll never see Nintendo abandon Mario, and you won't see Kratos be abandoned by Sony. Those are their iconic characters. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you see those individual characters, the first thing that pops up is the console name manufacturer, not the developer or anything. No, the first thing you think of when you see Kratos, Sony. When you see Master Chief, you think Microsoft Xbox. When you see Mario, you think Nintendo. And so as the years have gone, you've seen other characters start to evolve and spread out from those arenas. You've got Uncharted Nathan Drake, you think Sony. You know, you've got The Last of Us, Ellie, you think Sony. You've got Star Fox, you think Nintendo. You see Donkey Kong, you see Nintendo. You see Link, you know Nintendo. Aside from Master Chief, what is Microsoft known for? And that's my concern.
Gears.
Okay, fine. I'll give you that one. Gears. Completely slipped my mind.
Forza. You got to put Forza up there too, because they're known for that.
Right.
But besides that, that's
but
it.
There's not that much. And so over the last couple of years, they've had to rely on third party to help support and bolster that library. But it's come to that time where Microsoft needs to, and I'm pretty sure this is not old news. You know, I'm pretty sure this is not going to come as a shocking surprise to Phil Spencer and Aaron and everybody else in Microsoft Green. But they know that they need to find that next nugget. You know, they need to find that next IP that's going to help carry them. I'm not saying it's going to take over Master Chief's reign, but somebody that can help prop him up in times like this, when there's a 2-3 year gap between titles. Yeah, Halo Wars 2 came out, you know, but it didn't help prop up the IP like it should have, right? And that's why Microsoft needs to find, and it's not easy to find, right? Hitting,
what are the chances of people supporting it?
Yeah, hitting those home runs is like winning the $100 million lottery. Sony was lucky that they were able to hit 4 times with 4 different IPs. Nintendo has a 40-year reign where it's allowed to do that, plus 40 years more, you know, with Nintendo. So it's got time. Just, it's finding that nugget in the rough, being able to polish it enough to get it so it stands out on its own and becomes the next super title. And when they do that, obviously we know that the marketing juggernaut that is Microsoft is going to take that and run with it. And, you know, God bless them if they can find it, because it's needed, right? They, you know, not to say, no, not for nothing, but I know you've said it in the past, being second and third doesn't always hurt. Sometimes it helps encourage that drive to become bigger and better. So unfortunately, Microsoft has been, you know, they've been catching the scraps from Nintendo and Sony, and it's about time. Hopefully, you know, when you hear these little things, like you said from Phil, I had a great meeting in Japan. Hopefully, the fruits of those labors come soon. Hopefully.
Hopefully, I hope so, because remember, Nintendo. There was a time that Nintendo didn't have no first party games. It was like it was taking too long for those exclusives to come out. There was a time that Sony also was kind of dry during the early days of PlayStation 4. And look at now, they have first-party games everywhere, and they're going to have a lot more next year. So I think, it's not a great year when it comes to first-party for Microsoft, but I think eventually when they hear feedback from the fans, they're going to invest more money in that, and they're going to surprise us. I think we just got to be patient. Right now, at the moment, we're just freaking out, I think, for those that have the Xbox console and all that stuff. But hey, if people gave a chance to Sony during the early days, and look at them now.
But the problem is
exclusive everywhere.
The problem is how much longer can we keep giving them that?
It's only been a year. It's only been a year. Last year they had a lot of games. Now, was it hits? Some of them no. Some of them did okay. I think if you don't release anything, I think it's worse. At least you got to take a risk. Hey, maybe it will become a hit. So Sony has done it. Nintendo has done it. Microsoft has done it. There's been many games that come out in the past that was kind of crappy. It was, what the hell is this? And some of them was just a cult classic, right? But it wasn't a hit. Like a perfect example, Pikmin. I love Pikmin. A lot of people love Pikmin. But it was Nintendo that took that risk and released that game, right? But imagine it was Microsoft releasing Pikmin. They released a cool game that's similar, that is, strategy like that, Viva Pinata. Not a lot of people like the game. It's not their thing. I love Viva Pinata. I think it's a freaking classic, a cult classic in my opinion. Mandy loves it too, right? So at least these companies are taking a risk, man. That's the thing that I like. Imagine them not releasing anything. It'll be freaking dry. I'll be complaining all the time, man, 4 years and there's nothing. What is this? But it's just 1 year that's just been bad. That's all, I think. But all right, I'm going to read the last question because I really have to go. This is from Dimitri. Oh, it's like Dimitris. Sounds like your son's.
Yeah, you said Dimitri. I was like, son wrote into the show?
Yeah, somebody else. He is from Delaware, so shout out to him, man. Hey guys, I'm listening to your podcast now, and you're talking about BC. I wanted to mention that PlayStation has BC available via PlayStation Now. I'm playing Mafia 2 now, and never played it before. He said that playing all these games meets this exact need. I agree. Dude, there's so many people that have never played all these old games, man. And playing now, they'll probably will play it either through PlayStation Now, renting it, right? Or you play it on the 360 or Xbox, whatever. Like, there's different ways. Or Nintendo, they released like the Super NES last month, right? And can you believe this was the console that sold the most? It outsold PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox. Because there's people that just love old games. There's even conventions for retro games. That's it. They don't care about the new next gen stuff. No, they care only about old games. Pinball, old arcade machines, Atari, ColecoVision, and so on. The NES, Super NES. There's a crowd for that, I think, man. So, yeah. And the good thing about that, all these games are cheap. So you have an opportunity to buy these games super cheap. You go to like a garage sale, you might get a game that's so old for like $2-3, man. You're saving money. A lot of people don't have enough money to buy a $60 game every single time, man. So that's why I always bring it up and I always defend that, because I think there's a crowd like that, man. They don't want to spend no $300 like Pete buying Nintendo Switch.
All right, fine. So you're gonna guilt me into it. Now I'm just gonna go get my money back. Now I'm gonna cancel my.
I'm messing with you. But that's what I think, man. You know what I'm saying? So, see, like Pete is one of those. It's like Paris, moving forward. They don't want to go back. Moving forward. They already enjoy those games in the past, but they're moving forward. That's it.
Yeah.
I like to go back and reminisce. Like, oh man, dude, I remember playing this that time. Oh man, this game is freaking good. Like, that's me. Like, I'm always thinking that.
But see, and that's just a personal preference, though. I can't go. I've beaten it. I've gone through it. I don't want to go through it again because I remember the journey of having gone through that. I think the only game where I've ever done that, repeatedly banged my head against the wall, Destiny. I ran through the gauntlet on Xbox One, and then I let my Xbox One, my Xbox Live subscription expire, and I moved over to PlayStation, and I played it there for 300-400 hours. And I think that's where the burnout happened, where I don't know if I could ever see that do it. Yeah. Or see her do that again.
No, I understand. I right now this year, I've been having a blast, and I've also been experimenting with a lot of like different games I've never played before. Like Thumper came out last year, and I love that game so much. And I finished it. Now, recently I just finished it on Xbox One, and also on Nintendo Switch. But that game came out for the PlayStation 4 and also PlayStation VR. And I don't have a VR. So I was like, it's probably a VR game. I'm not going to buy it. But when I heard that this is coming out on the Nintendo Switch, I'm like, man, let me try this out. And I give it a chance, and I really enjoy that game. So, people, if you're listening to this, if there's a game that makes you, think twice, like, man, should I just buy this? Let me go do some little research. Let's see what people are saying. And then, buy it. Test it out. There's a lot of indie games, man. There's more indie games now than ever. Support it. There's a lot of cool ones out there, man. Don't depend only on Xbox Gold and PlayStation Plus to get free games. Support it, man. That would be awesome. Look, the reason why Rocket League blew up was because of that. The people support it. The word got around. They added this as a free game for PlayStation Plus. And look, they're everywhere, man. Got to give it a chance.
Yeah, but they already had it. I wouldn't go so far as to completely say solely the success being because they put it out on Play. Come on, let's. No, but it came out it was on Steam and on PlayStation first. It wasn't on Xbox or Nintendo. I know. Oh, okay. I'm just saying, like, you're just saying, but word of mouth. It helps. I'm just saying that the way you phrased that just sounded a little, sounded. Oh, really? Yeah. Fake news. Pretty much. Oh man, look at Cuphead. Sold over a million copies. By the way, Pete, have you gone back to Cuphead? No, right? Check the achievements, man. Check the achievements. I'm putting work on it. Dude, it's hard, dude. It's hard, and I'm trying to juggle that between PUBG and obviously AC Origins right now. The next couple of months, I mean, hell, Tuesday can't come fast enough. Let's put it this way. I don't even know if I'm ever gonna get back to it. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I want, for those who are listening to the podcast right now, I want you to recommend games for us to test out. Independent games. There's a lot of AAA that we're going to get. It's cool. But surprise us with some cool indie games that you think we should download. It could be on PC. It could be on Nintendo Switch or, PlayStation, Xbox. Let us know. I'll try it out. Definitely. So, all right, Pete, we're going to wrap it up here. Head over to GamerTagRadio.com. Post your comments over there. You can find us also on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, and other podcast directories. Now, I can't say what's going to happen next week. There's a couple surprises next week that I'm working on that I'm excited about. And if it works, then we might have 3 episodes next week just because of something that's going on. Not 100%, but I'm working on a couple surprises. So stay tuned to the podcast. Follow us on Twitch if you can. If you want to get notifications once we're live and everything. But it's going to be a big week. Big week for GTR. Oh, my God. All right. Anything else, Pete? Nah, I think that's it. I think it was a good show. Yeah, it was more calm. Pete was like checking himself, like, man, I don't want to mess up here, man. Let me just be calm, it's all good, man. Dude, we gotta have fun, man. We gotta have fun. A lot of people will say, "Oh, I'm gonna stop listening. These guys are fighting. I don't like that." A lot of them will come back, man. That's how it is. People at that moment they're mad. I understand. It happens, man. We're not perfect. You know how many people said back in the days, "Oh, I'm done with this podcast." 3 years later, they start listening to us again, man. That's how it is, man. We can't stop. We won't stop. That's it. We're having fun with this, man.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
So that's it. P, anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
No, I think that's it. I know you've got I know you've got plans, so I don't want to hold you any further than we already have.
No bonus episode here on Twitch. I have to go. I have to do a couple things, man. But trust me, I will make it up next week.
Promises.
Yeah. All right.
All right, dude.
That's it. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time, we're out, and hopefully Paz will join us next time. All right. Peace.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Hey, what's going on, Gamertag Radio? I hope all is well for you guys. This is Keon. And I also wanted to say to you guys, as a listener, I love the fact that you guys go at each other, where you don't agree with what each other is always saying. I think it makes for a much better podcast, especially the way you guys do it. It's always done respectfully, but it's always done with passion as well. So definitely keep that up. Most podcasts, when they're agreeing all the time, it becomes very boring because you can't agree with everything that everyone says. But with that being said, guys, thank you once again so much for the hard work, and you guys take care. Bye-bye.